quick update on our July likes battle. Right now, the Saints, we're kicking the teeth out of the Falcons Today channel. Not just in our likes, but also in our subs battle. We talked about that yesterday, but we're going to focus in on the likes battle. I want to double these frauds. Look how good we're doing, Saints fans. Shout out to all of you. Shout out to all 7,706 likes we have gotten thus far in the month of July. But let's go and double those bums. Can we get, 500 likes on today's video? I mean, that right there would absolutely infuriate the Falcons fans. And I can tell you one thing. We all love pissing off Atlanta Falcons fans. All three of them that exist, actually. All right, so let's get into it. Training camp press conference takeaways. We have a lot of fun on the channel. We try to have a good time. But we're also here to give you guys insightful information, give you guys a little bit of context, and help paint the picture for what the New Orleans Saints are trying to accomplish in the 2024 season. And Dennis Allen, in this press conference, I think did an excellent job at kind of laying the land for what the mindset at training camp is. He said what it really boils down to is us being out here, putting in the work, being demanding on ourselves and each other, holding each other accountable, and then functioning and operating at a high level when we have the chance to do that. I think that is 100% accurate. I think it's a very strong quote from Dennis Allen. And I'll tell you one thing, as somebody who is a Dennis Allen critiquer, if you will. I'm very hard on Dennis Allen. Giggity. I can be won over with quotes like this. I think that it's very telling, and now I just got to see it happen on the field. But I also really like this from Dennis Allen because it does a really, really good job of showing the no-nonsense philosophy that he's kind of rolling with right now. I mean, the energy in this team feels different. The aura, the swagger, the mentality, it just feels a lot more no-nonsense, and I love that. Dennis Allen on Kendre Miller, who is dealing with the hamstring issue. He left practice at training camp day one a little bit early because of a hamstring injury. Said that's a player who needs to figure out how to stay healthy because you can't make the team in the training room. And you know what? To make it simple, it's hard to make the club when you're in the tub. Yeah, it's as close as I can make it. It's as simple as I can make it. It's hard to make the team if you're not ever on the field. It's impossible to make the roster if you never contribute. If all you do is take up a training room bed and an ice bath, I'm sorry, there's not much value in that. And I'm not going to sit here and open up the conversation about Tajay Spears. I know you're going to get in the comments about it. I know you guys are going to make your points about it. But the reality is we didn't take Tajay Spears. We have Kendre Miller. So let's all root for him to get healthy and to figure this shit out because he can't go back in time and take a different person. So the best thing for all of us is that Kendre Miller just figures it out, gets healthy, stays on the field. But for a guy who's going in on his second season who was already limited with injuries, not a good look. Not a good look. But the message is clear around New Orleans. They are not happy. They are not comfortable. They are not satisfied, and they will not settle for mediocrity this season. The Saints and Dennis Allen have been using the fact that the playoffs have been missed for 3 straight seasons as motivation to get this team jazzed up, to get this team fired up. And I think that's exactly the right play by Dennis Allen. I think that it's a smart move to use your past shortcomings to boost your future success. And when you have a football team that has a history of recent success and a lot of recent success, and your fan base gets accustomed to winning, you have to do what you can to win them back over. And you have to do what you can in order to prove that you are still a team that is worth respecting. And right now, Dennis Allen is saying the right things, but I need to see the execution when it comes to game time. So we'll see. I hope Dennis Allen proves me wrong. I hope that I can eat the crow on this and say, you know what? I was wrong. Dennis Allen's a great head coach, and my bad. I'm sorry, DA. I'm hoping that what happens. I want to see my team win football games. I don't give a shit who's calling the plays. I could care less who's throwing the football. I want to see my team win football games no matter what. There's my TED Talk. All right, let's talk about Alvin Kamara and his press conference. There's 3 big quotes that stuck out to me, and we discussed this in yesterday's video, but just kind of wanted to re-hit this and re-explain why I think this is important. I'm here for the team. I'm working. Alvin Kamara is not distracted. He's not looking to create a distraction, to be a diva. He's not looking to cause problems. He's not looking to take away from himself or from the team. And he's not looking to harm the team's success and the team's growth because he wants to be I'm not, because he's not being it, so I'm going to say it. He's not being selfish, and I think that is amazing. I love Alvin Kamara for so many reasons, but that's definitely a big one now. I want to be a Saint. I want to retire here. That's a quote that he said on Wednesday after training camp in his press conference, but that's not a new quote. We've seen him say that before, dating back to when Cam Jordan got his extension. He wants to be a Saint for life, and he even says that he's not asking for anything crazy. It's just his perception, though. The team may view it differently, but also I think it's important to note that Alvin Kamara understands that his production was down last year. He understands that maybe he doesn't have the argument of, I'm still putting up really good numbers, I'm getting age. Like, I think that's all really important stuff to consider here. And Alvin Kamara understanding that and knowing that, I think, makes this conversation a lot easier when it comes down to getting a contract situated. Now, lock us in, Saints fans, if you want updates, news, and a lot more fun content. We're currently live on Saints Now by Chat Sports. We go live every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central Time. So if you missed out, I encourage you to hit the sub button and turn on your notifications so that way you can join us next time. And if you bleed black and gold, this is the channel for you. So hit that sub button and lock us in so you can be a part of one of the best community of Saints fans on the internet. All right, now Alvin Kamara on his age. I thought that this was a pretty interesting quote as well. He said, I don't feel like I have aging running back syndrome. Now, obviously, Kamara's getting up there in the age column, and obviously not Saints fans, but NFL fans in general, when you get to a certain point as a running back, you are not valuable anymore because of your age. I'm here to tell you right now tomorrow is actually his birthday. The day that this video comes out is his birthday, Colin. That's actually perfect. So, fun fact, Alvin Kamara's birthday is on the day this is coming out. So, happy birthday, AK. You just turned 29 years old. My point being, though, he isn't 30 years old yet. I think that he still shows a lot of pop, a lot of zip. I think he still runs smooth as butter. I mean, this guy, like, when you see videos of him working out, like, I saw one clip that just proved to me he's still an athletic freak. And I saw a clip of them running a running back drill, and he had three slots, lined up, and you have two coaches that are going to crash in separate holes, and you got to bump out to the right one and, avoid the tackle, if you will. And athletically, Alvin Kamara is smooth as a baby's ass cheek. He is running so smoothly. He looks fluid. He looks like he still can cut very, very hard, and it looks like he can still run with a lot of force. So I have full faith in Alvin Kamara. Obviously, the production was down over the past few seasons, last season, but at the end of the day, let's also call a spade here. It's not like his offensive line was any good. It's also not like he had at all good play calling. It was statistically the worst in the league. So I think there are some excuses to be made for Alvin Kamara. And, because Alvin Kamara gets the excuse, I think the Derek Carr also gets those excuses as well. But that's a conversation for another day. Now, another thing about Alvin Kamara, this is kind of turning into a I love AK and here's all the reasons why. My 13 reasons why I love Alvin Kamara. That might have been a bad joke. Oh, well. Nick Underhill saying, funny moment, Alvin Kamara just carried Derek Carr's helmet and cleats back to the locker room. After Alvin Kamara had his press conference and media availability, Derek Carr spoke right after him, and AK picked up his stuff, took it in the locker room right for him, and I thought it was funny that Carr told him he had it, but Alvin insisted. And, this just proves that Alvin Kamara is the definition of a leader. Even when he's looking for more money, even when he's looking, not more money, but more guaranteed money in the future, and more guarantees and more time, that just to me proves that he loves this team. He wants to prove that he is an asset and that he is a leader and that, sure, the on-field production might be down, but he is still a valuable part of the team. And just because the production was down last year doesn't mean it can't get better this year. That's just another thing I want to hit home at. But I do believe that Alvin Kamara is the definition of a leader. He's one of the few guys who actively gets vocal in the locker room. And he's one of the few guys last year who was able to help this team take accountability when the team was coming up short. Him and Tyrann Mathieu, I do believe, are the two best leaders on their respective sides of the football. Now, really quick, got to give a shout out to Game Time for sponsoring today's Saints Now by Chat Sports. I appreciate Game Time for helping support the show. And if you want to support the show and you want to create some new memories, download the Game Time app, use code CHATSPORTS, and you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Now, if you're like me and you enjoy going to live events like concerts, comedy shows, and all sorts of sporting stuff, you have to check out the Game Time app. I'm looking at getting tickets here in Arlington for the Saints vs. Cowboys game during week 2. And fun fact, I'm also looking at having a little bit of a meet and greet. So I hope to see you there. And I'm telling you right now, if you get your tickets to Saints vs. Cowboys on any other app, you're doing it wrong. I love how user-friendly the Game Time app is. And plus, there's notifications and there's indications whenever there's cool promos and stadium giveaways and flash deals and all sorts of stuff. And the best part about it, the prices actually go down the closer you get to the event. So if you want to get yourself some tickets, you want to make some memories with the boys, or if you want to take your girl to a show, or hey, you and your dad want to catch a game, download the Game Time app, use code ChatSports to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS. That's code ChatSports to get $20 off your first purchase. Shout out to Game Time. Download the app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right, so now let's talk about some good news around not Alvin Kamara. I have AK-41 on the mind. Let's talk about Kendre Miller and the new offense, because this is going to be fun, guys. Like, everything right now that we're seeing from the team and from the players and from the coaches are indicating that all of the excitement and all of the hopeful thoughts that us as Saints fans have had over the past couple of months since hiring Kubiak, all of that is starting to be a little bit, not proven right, but justified and be like, okay, like, we're starting to see some good stuff and get some good reports. Derek Carr did an excellent job of kind of setting the scene here with Kendre Miller. He said he knows his system. He knows this game. He's been around it since he was a kid. So mentally, he's on top of it. There's so much respect for him in our locker room because he's coaching everybody. That right there shows me that he is a much better coach than Pete Carmichael. That 1 point right there, that he's coaching everybody. You didn't hear that with Pete Carmichael. That's different. I love it. He's coaching everybody, and the standard has never changed since we met him. Now, I'm a firm believer, not just in football, not just in work, but in life in general. Respect is earned. Respect isn't given. You don't just get to wake up one day and you demand and command respect, and everyone should bow down to you and respect the hell out of you. No. You have to earn that kind of thing. And Kendre Miller, shout out to him because he is doing that. He is earning the respect of the team. He's earning the support of the team. And so even if things aren't going well and you need to make adjustments early in the season, the team at least has the respect for the coach in order to listen to what he has to say and to execute those changes and those alterations to the game plan. I think that it is very telling that the Saints locker room in just a couple of months has massive respect for Kendre Miller. And I'm not saying that they didn't respect Pete Carmichael, but the attitude and the mindset and everything that's coming out of the team thus far, it's not comparable to what was going on when Pete Carmichael was the OC. So I think that this is really good news. Again, respect is earned, not given, and shout out to Kendre Miller for earning some respect in New Orleans. Now, Mike Triplett adding this note, so that Saints quarterback said, "Our practices are fast and physical." That's how you earn respect. You don't just mosey around. You don't just do whatever. They start off every single day with some competition. They start off their practices with 40 up downs or burpees or whatever you want to call them. Like, that right there is leadership. That right there, that brings dogs out. That brings the hungry MFers out, and that's where you get winning football. I also like that he added, it's very noticeable already on day one of training camp, the differences between Kendre Miller and Pete Carmichael. And Mike Triplett also confirming that, and his observation saying the speed and tempo has been very impressive with this team. Now, I'm going to say this, harder practices, awesome. That is great. We live in too soft of a world. We live in too much of a microwave society where we expect immediate results. And unfortunately, that's not the reality of the world we live in. So hard practices, they turn players into tough sons of bitches. And they turn these guys into winning football players. When the going gets tough, shout out to Bluto and Animal House, the tough get going. And at the end of the day, when we are sitting here in week 15, 16, fighting for a playoff spot or fighting to have better seating in the playoffs, you're going to need the dogs to come out. Doesn't matter if you're tired. Doesn't matter if you're beat down. Doesn't matter if you're hurt. You still have a job to do, and that right there, having harder practices, makes that job so much easier. So I absolutely love that they're ramping up and revving up the intensity, because I think when you have a more intense practice, and you practice like you play. So if you play, or if you practice lazy, you're going to play lazy. If you practice hard, you're going to play hard. If you practice with a lot of energy and tempo, you're going to play with a lot of energy and tempo. So I think that this is very, very good news. Now, Derek Carr also spoke about his wide receiver one in Chris Olave, and I think this is really cool. Every play that's called, he should feel like, I'm getting that thing. The communication and extra work we put in after practice, we're going to do it every day. All of that stuff is growth for both of us. Every day, extra work. Every day, getting extra reps. Every day, adding to the chemistry that the two players have. There's a different energy around this team. There is no doubt about it. This is not the same New Orleans Saints team that we saw last year. It's not the same team we saw 2 seasons, 3 seasons, 4 seasons ago. This team has a new mindset. They have a new attitude. And you can tell. There's something in the air. There's something in the water. And right now I'm buying into it. I really like the energy and I like the aura that this team is giving off right now. And to be honest, I like that they feel a little disrespected. I like that they feel like underdogs. I like that that media is not really giving them a ton of praise in terms of like the big media, like ESPN and the Pat McAfee's and First Takes and the Cowherds of the world. There's a different energy around this team, and I think it's really good stuff. And I'm really excited, and I think you should be as well. And if you are excited, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, Cameron Jordan, If you're not pumped up right now, and if you want to run through a brick wall, just give me like 2 more minutes of your time. Cam Jordan on entering year 14. It looks like a blessing. It feels like a blessing. I'm looking forward to it. It will be a blessing to take the field every day with talented guys. Cam Jordan, I mean, one of one. I absolutely love this player. It is a blessing. 14 years in the league is very hard to do, and especially when you're on one team. That's awesome. Like, shout out to you, Wham Bam. Thank you, Cam. All right, now let's talk about Cameron Jordan on how much he has left in the tank. Short and sweet. You'll see. Why talk about it when you can be about it? That's fair. I love it. And my favorite quote of the day, Cam Jordan on this season, I want a Super Bowl. I don't want to make the playoffs. I don't want to win the NFC South. I don't want to get 5-10 wins. I don't want to go 500. I want to win the fucking Super Bowl. I love it because I want to win the Super Bowl too. Now, if you're excited for this season to start, I need you to get in the comment section and give me a who dat. If you're bleeding black and gold, you're pumped up, you're ready for some real football, type who dat in the comment section, and I'll be responding to a bunch of you with the who dat back. Y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.